This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure to order Jamie Glazov's new critically acclaimed jihadist psychopath. How he is charming, seducing, and devouring us. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Glazov Gang. Tonight, my response to Snoop. With us this evening, back by popular demand, Bryson Gray, a recording artist and an ex-leftist that is now a Trump supporter. Bryson, welcome to the program.
What's up, man? Glad to be back.
It's great to have you back. So, Bryson, some interesting developments lately, but I guess one could say they're expected. Snoop Dogg has come out on his Instagram account with this image that he got. I don't know exactly where he got it from or if it's his or whatnot, but the image has prominent black conservatives on it, and it's Candace Owens, the Hodge twins, Herman Cain, Terrence Williams, etc. And he calls them, I guess after the Brady Bunch perhaps, the C-word bunch. What did you make of this?
That was regular clown activity from left-wing music artists. He did it. It went viral, and a lot of black conservatives were pissed off, and a lot of people were requesting that I make a diss track. And I said I would be happy to, because we're battling for culture anyway. So, and I like to battle, so let's do it.
All right. And before we play the video of the rap song, just tell us a little bit about some of the things you thought about in terms of why did that anger you, or let's say piss you off, in terms of what Snoop had done?
Because if you look on his Instagram, like after he posted the Coon Bunch picture, he had a picture with a rapper named NBA Youngboy. And this rapper named NBA Youngboy and also Snoop Dogg old raps is just straight about gang banging, killing people, doing drugs, selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Having reckless sex and all of this nonsense. And black conservatives are coons that usually don't engage in that activity, but you take a picture of NBA Youngboy calling him a young legend, you know what I'm saying, which is a negative influence on the black community. So I think that's one of the reasons I feel like I had to do it.
All right, absolutely. Well, look, let's play the rap song right now.
It's all for any rapper, Snoop Dogg, T.I., whoever, Eminem, whoever wants smoke with all that. I'm getting tired of low IQ individuals always having an opinion. And that's on gang, let's get it. Hey, look, 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Dogg, you ain't been hot since 2004. I ain't your normal conservative, cause I'm with all smoke. And they go for any rapper, make y'all lock on me to go. Keep trying to reinvent yourself, you in the Snoop line. That's ironic, every time I hear you talk Snoop line, then somebody gotta do it. Hold on, let me get him. How he saying Trump is racist, but was taking pictures with him. Said America ain't done nothing for you, okay, but I swear that you went from gang banging to a multi-millionaire. Teaching kids they bit them, don't tell them how music got you here. Capitalism is the why, United States is the where. When did Trump become racist? Was it before or after? You was shaking hands with him. Well, it really don't matter. Either you was fake then, or that mean you fake now. Or that mean you want attention cause you thirsty for some clout. First up at reducing sentences and getting people out. Y'all are praising Meek Mill for something he do nothing about. First reformers under Trump. I mean, he really signed it. Now look at the 3 strike laws and ask who behind it. Look at Crime Bill Joe. And then maybe you find it in the culture out of order. Right now, any realignment, I'm a coon for supporting Trump. Okay, it's lit, but you support rappers that praise murder. And that make no sense, and you do it too, and it sound good, I must admit, but I'm here to destroy it all until it don't exist. Think about the kids, the future, what we put in their minds. Selling dope, having sex and toting illegal nines, doing drugs, having baby mamas committing crimes, and it has to evolve, and right now it's the time. And let's talk about family, about God, about country, how y'all not oppressed rappers were able to get some money. More rich than 99% of white folk in this bunny. You can't play me like you a victim, cause I'm not a dummy. Y'all in matches telling people they won't make it out of hood, saying if it wasn't for the white man, then they could. I say if it wasn't for that mindset, then they could. If it wasn't for that mindset, then they could. Y'all in matches telling people they won't make it out of hood. I'm telling them if it wasn't for that mindset, then they would. That's okay. I'm with all the smoke. You see me in my MAGA hat, I dare you to try to take mine off. That's what that 2A for. The Second Amendment is just in case that first one don't work.
Wow, absolutely fantastic, Bryson. So look, not just superbly talented musically and poetically, but you also have a lot of profound messages in there, a lot of profound themes in there, and I want to touch on some of them. For instance, you mention in the rap song that Snoop at one time took pictures with Trump. So that's actually very interesting. So the question arises, who was bad or good when? Why was that okay then? Now it's not okay. What do you make of that? Why, what happened there in terms of the timeline? Why was that okay at that time?
Well, because Snoop Dogg is a puppet. And the reason I brought that line up is because I said it in the song. I said either you was fake then or you was fake now. You was smiling at his face then, giving him handshakes, smiling on the red carpet, taking pictures. And now he's the most racist person in history. So, I mean, you choose. You was either fake then or fake now. And Trump has been saying the same stuff he says now for like 30 years at least. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's very interesting that he wasn't a racist back then, but now when the deep state all of a sudden says he's a racist, everybody just, in terms of on the left follows that. Now, you touched on prison reform. And Trump, has done a lot that benefited the black community, including the First Step Act, etc. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the recipients of the First Step Act was, I think, over 70% black people. You know what I'm saying? Reduced sentences or let out of jail. And Joe Biden literally put us in jail. So to me, I just find it funny how he hates Trump, but they always talk about free day homie or free this and free that or get our people out of jail. Well, okay, Trump did it, but he's still a racist to you, so I don't know what you want at this point.
But Bryson, thousands, tens of thousands of people in prison that are also black have come home to be with their families, to be back in society. I mean, this is a great thing that Trump has done. And one could ask what the Democrats have done in this case, especially Biden in his past, right?
Well, they have done nothing. And I know it seems like it's supposed to be a good thing. But when the media blinds you with hatred to the point where you don't care about your values or care about the things you have always claimed to want, that shows you that people are brainwashed, clear cut, like it's blatant.
Right. Now, look, you also mentioned, Bryson, I find it very interesting that Snoop is somewhere part of this whole paradigm of criticizing America for oppression and everything. And yet, as you point out, he's a multimillionaire. And, I wonder, where could Snoop have done better in terms of the wealth that he was able to attain, in terms of his career and everything he was able to do? What country in the world could he have done this as well as how America has given him this gift? What do you think about these multimillionaires that are very oppressed?
They're lying to you. And which is why I said a thing about a mansion in the song. They are in mansions, tweeting or posting a video on Instagram saying you are oppressed. These are black people with millions of dollars who a lot of times, especially rappers, they came from nothing. They came from nothing. Made a few good songs. By the way, the majority of rap music is bought by white people. If you look at a lot of these shows and performances, they're white people in the crowd. Let me get this straight. You're oppressed by white people, but you're rich because of black people, white people, Hispanics. Rap is the most popular genre now, so everybody. You telling me with your Lamborghini, your Wraith right beside it, that $3 million, $5 million house, you're going to sit there with a straight face and tell people the reason they can't do something is because they're oppressed because of their skin color? You really let Oprah tell you that with a straight face? At some point, I got to blame the person listening to it.
Yeah, something is a bit pathological there. And I have to say, my family my parents were dissidents in the Soviet Union. We come from tremendous oppression and poverty. So you can just imagine our story of how much we love this country and everything it gave us. So I'm always a little bit perplexed at watching millionaires living in mansions talking about how oppressed they are. And by the way, I know it doesn't mean that some people didn't suffer. I'm just talking about those specific cases. So you also mentioned, Bryson, baby mamas. And you're touching on these central issues here that Larry Elder has talked about, and many black conservatives talk about, is this problem also in the black community of fatherlessness, the lack of individual responsibility, blaming white people for everything. Tell us a little bit about why you mentioned that theme.
Well, if you turn on a rap radio station, I don't care what state, what city you in, if you turn on a rap radio station, you can literally hear what our culture consists of, or what gets praised in our culture, or what gets pumped up in our culture. You can hear it within 10 songs in. You will know exactly what goes on in what's considered to be black culture. It's reckless sex, baby mamas, baby daddies, scamming people, selling dope, killing people, the best shoes, this and this, spending money on reckless stuff. And I mean, that's literally every song. I literally went to the Billboard rap charts and listened to the top 10 songs, and it was all nonsense. You're either taking drugs or you selling them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear nothing about family. I didn't hear nothing about the nuclear family in there. I didn't hear really much about God in there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear much about uplifting people. It was none of that.
But Bryson, so I'm just sorry to interrupt here. I'm just saying that we have, like, let's say somebody like Snoop and all the things that he's singing about, and then the black conservatives want to talk about God, have a family, have a father in the home, maybe, going to school, or, and they're considered the bad people, right? Like, how does this add up?
Every time I drop a song, I get called a coon by somebody, something of that nature. And I think, like, did you listen to the lyrics? These lyrics are super positive, literally about God, about family, about our constitutional rights. And it's like people don't care. They want to hear about, girls popping that, whatever, you know what I'm saying, taking drugs, having sex, killing people, that's what they want to hear. But then we're the bad guys. Like, you're right, black conservatives, we're the bad guys. So yeah. It's actually, we live in an upside down world.
Yeah. Bryson, how did you feel waking up one day realizing that you actually weren't black after what Biden said?
Yeah, when Biden took my black card, it was very, very, very devastating, because I didn't know that a older white man who actually supported segregation, I didn't know someone like that could take my black card. But, you learn something new every day. So I was surprised,
What does it say about somebody like Biden that says that black people are not black if they don't vote for him? I think one could argue that there might be some racism there, right?
Well, I mean, they're telling you what we already know. The Democrats, in their mind, which they know, they own the black vote. LBJ reportedly said years ago that he'll have the N-word voting for Democrats for 200 years. So, I mean, what was going on? So the Democrats know they got black people emotionally by a string, which is why they could toss anything up on this CNN or MSNBC, and we'll start protesting and rioting and burning down businesses.
Bryson, I think it could fairly be said that black conservatives voting for Trump is one of the greatest nightmares for the left. I think that for black leftists and for the left overall, people like you represent a tremendous danger. And the hatred with which they respond toward you, the names that you're called, indicates that. Why are they so afraid of you?
Well, they're afraid of not only me, there's a lot of us now that's in the conservative movement, and they're afraid because we don't look like the type of black person that would usually vote Republican, like a black person with a suit on or talk proper 100% of the time. We're not, so now you have a new group of people coming up that, acts like y'all, talk like y'all, grew up in the same culture y'all grew up, engage in the same culture y'all grew up in. The only difference is we have a different mindset, and they don't like it because it's like, you're supposed, and from their point of view, it's like, you're supposed to be on my side. Somebody tweeted today after I released that Snoop Dogg diss track, it was like, dang, man, why he got to be on the other side? Sad story. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like...
Bryson, are there some members of the black community that you know, perhaps friends, family, and they have whispered to you that they like Trump, but they're still kind of afraid to come out?
A lot of people. Most of the people that came to me, they ended up just coming out publicly and saying it. But I get messages all the time. Like I get phone calls from friends all the time. And like a few of the things that's waking them up is this Black Lives Matter nonsense. And people are starting getting deep into the, a lot of the deep state stuff going on, like the pedophilia and everything. People are doing research on that. They always call me like, Bryson, you was right. Sometimes they come out, sometimes they don't publicly, but it's happening.
Well, you had the courage to come out just in case. Well, wait a minute. I don't know if you had the courage to come out. I think you had the courage perhaps to become a conservative, but I think you were always comfortable with being a conservative, right?
Yeah, deep down, I was always conservative. My dad, he's literally right here, and he can say what he wants, thinking he's a Democrat, but his values are conservative. He can say what he wants, but he's a conservative, right. So he just don't want to admit it.
Just in case Snoop Dogg tuned into this show, would you have anything to say to him at this moment?
Well, the Snoop Dogg and the other rapper, it seemed like everybody is scared to sit down and have an actual conversation with a coon, which would be a black conservative. So since y'all are afraid to have conversations and don't want to be civil, then just know we have talented people on our side. We have people on our side, and we basically about to take over the rap culture too, just to let you know.
Wow. Speaking of the rap culture, Bryson, your new album is out. MAGA Season, spelled SZN, is #1 on Amazon charts. Tell us a little bit about it and where people can get it.
MAGA Season, you can get it everywhere. If you're on Spotify, when you go to sleep, stream it on replay. Same thing with Apple Music. If you have Amazon, buy it. You have Google Play, buy it. YouTube, stream it, iTunes, buy it. Wherever you can get it, just type in Bryson Gray. It'll come up.
Fantastic. And just in general, where can people go just to follow you in general? You're on Parler and Twitter.
Parler and Twitter should be Real Bryson Gray. YouTube is just Bryson Gray, and Instagram is Bryson Creates.
Okay, fantastic. What do you think about November, Bryson? Biden versus Trump. Are you optimistic?
I think this will be a landslide that nobody's ever seen. But just in case the Democrats try to play a little game, let's just say Trump is looking like he's going to lose, so everybody can get out and go vote.
Wow. Okay, fantastic. Bryson Gray, you are a very inspiring individual. Thank you for your courage, your nobility, and for telling the truth.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. We hope to see you again. Good luck in everything. And thank you for watching the Glazov Gang tonight. We'll see you soon. Good night.